Short Rest with Fonzi and Carlo.
Hey, man, what's up? We're up for a short rest, right? It's been a rough
Yeah,
week. Uh,
it's been physically a rough week for myself, but relatively an okay week in terms of our D&D career.
yeah, I'm just super grateful we had the game last Thursday, and man, I'm excited. Like we had to push back some. No, not had to. We kind of want to. I think the party as a whole wanted to push back some Strad because of that. It was so hype.
Yeah. So just to give you guys a little bit more context, well, I want I launched kind of like a homebrew. I asked them if they'd like to play a homebrew of mine. It's called The Ghosts of Barrio Alonso, and it's a based on a short story that I wrote way back in college. So yeah, they said yes, and I prepped it and we played. They liked it. So right now we're 2 sessions in and planning for a third now. So it's really fun. So we published also the games on Tabletop Tito's YouTube. So we'll probably attach a link somewhere here or just yeah later on.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, since you mentioned we were 11 episodes in, we got some feedback from from my question from last episode as regarding the timeline of the hardcovers. And shout out to Adam Cartel who actually gave us this accurate timeline. Now we know that the most recent the most or the, at present day, quote unquote, the most recent hardcover is Descent into Avernus.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out, thank you, and to those people in Reddit who gave us the Reddit karma and actually answered the question. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah. So thanks guys for ever being the geeks, more than the geeks that we are and the nerds that we are. So appreciate your time and the effort into consuming all the lore. We were
Yeah.
lazy and did not check timelines.
Well, maybe I would be honest. I am confused. I do not have the brain power to look through all of them and be accurate about it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and time is always weird in Adventures League, but it doesn't really
yeah.
matter. Like in terms
Mm-mm.
of like season 10, like I think that's the first time that they ever imposed something like this. Like only like
Seasonality.
yeah, seasonality in this kind of like very restrictive way that
Mm-mm.
you can't play once you've played season 10 you can't play other seasons, something like that, or you can't go
Mm-hmm.
back to season 10. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely unique in a sense.
Yeah.
Like season 10, I
It's
haven't seen
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Well, I
Well.
haven't seen much in terms of the Adventures League. I started in season 8, so
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
It's hard. It's hard to have Adventures League at a time like this.
yeah,
And
and
then,
it's good that at least that now we're seeing more season 10 games being posted on the Roll
the
20 group, Facebook
yeah,
group,
and the
and
Facebook groups.
yeah, and all the online games have been happening in season 10. I haven't touched any season 10 content.
Yeah.
I browsed through very quickly on Icewind Dale. I haven't had the chance to really go through the lore and read the book. So probably won't be running that anytime soon.
Yeah.
Uh, oh,
We're kind of caught in the barrio.
yeah.
we we wa- we want to save some we want to save some people and play a little bit of that Curse of Strahd.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought it would just be interesting uh, to see and to incorporate our own culture in D&D and how that's going to look like. Like it's not the first time any of this has happened. I think like there are
Yeah.
monsters that have been built with Filipino folklore in mind. So there
Yeah.
are Reddit threads and homebrew monsters that have been posted there. So I've been looking at that and checking it out. So really interesting,
Oh, shit. I'll
really
keep
interesting
away
stuff.
from those for to avoid spoilers.
You won't be spoiled. Don't worry. You
Speaking
know
of
me.
monsters, yeah, I
Yes.
know.
Speaking of monsters, good segue. Hey,
Mm.
segue points for me.
We'll be talking about some monsters today.
Yeah. So that's
One of
our
them is the dungeon monster.
the main BBEG, which is the
Yeah,
guy sitting behind the DM screen.
yeah,
That's your BBEG.
yeah. He also creates great stories, to be fair. But yeah, just don't piss him off. Everything will be fine. But no, we're not gonna talk about the monster that is the dungeon master. We'll be talking about a different kind of set of monsters or monsters, Fonzie. We'll be talking about undead and all. We'll be talking about the undead. But
And
before we
yeah,
do,
yeah.
sorry.
Before we do,
Yeah, before we do, we're going to be rolling some hit dice. Let me just grab my dice set here with dice tray. Yeah, so
what's your?
Fonzie.
Let me ask you,
Yeah.
like, what's your hit dice? What's your hit dice?
Uh what do you mean? Like in real life or one of my characters?
Yeah, for your character here in this podcast.
My hit die would be a 1d12 because I am a barbarian.
I think I am a D8.
Yeah, you're a bard. Bard D6. Let me double check. I have the book
D6 ata
right
yung
here.
wizard.
Okay. Oh gosh, we're not so good in Constitution, huh?
I forgot.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Anyway,
rolling some hit
yeah,
dice. Ooh,
yeah.
nice.
You go first. What
I
you
rolled a
roll?
7. That's good.
Nice. That's one off from an 8. That's good.
Yeah, almost one off. Speaking of one off, I'm not sure where I was going there, but but I this week has been interesting because I've been incorporating a little bit of a routine now with the biking going on, and just focusing on
Nice.
that. And work is relatively easy and fast. I've just been focusing on myself, I guess, this week. Haven't really been productive. Not as
Mm-hmm.
not as productive as other weeks have been, not as busy, but just slowing down and just focusing on myself. So I think I needed some rest after a few, like a real, taking it easy. Maybe downtime
Yeah.
days,
Long
taking some downtime days
downtime
between
days. Yeah.
adventures. Yeah. So that's just been me. But yeah, this biking thing is going great. I feel like I've been really into it. I fixed my first flat tire yesterday, so that was fun.
Oh, nice.
Did it by myself,
Cool. Cool.
watching some YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting. So yeah,
It's good
so
to know, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
my first flat tire wasn't yeah. Let's just say that the first time I had a flat tire on a road bike didn't it was immediately followed by my second time of having a flat tire. Didn't do it correctly. But I'm glad you're having a great time with your bike right now. With
yeah,
Genji.
Genji has been awesome. How about you, Carlo?
Yeah.
What did you roll for?
Yeah, I'll roll for my hit dice. Oh wow, I will send you a fucking picture right now.
Is that a 12?
No, it's a 1.
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah, anyway, no. We don't so my week has been relatively has been heavily influenced by work, definitely. A lot of accounts have been coming in, and at the same time we needed to work double time on some other accounts, and I'm not complaining. It's just that I needed that Thursday game because it's been a doozy for the past week, and I'm like super excited for what's going to come about out of that busy work week. Other than that, yeah, I think I've been spinning now more consecutively. I've here at home because I don't know. I'm still waiting for a sign for me to be able to go out. Probably bike around for maybe just a few kilometers just to have this is to have this just to have my biker legs back. But yeah, that's it. I think my it's just been a busy week and I'm looking forward to more games and stuff.
Yeah, I think
Well,
you're gonna miss the road once you get back on.
yeah, yeah.
I enjoy particularly like going out and just finding this might be a good place to take a picture, just take a
With
rest.
your bike.
It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. You know that scene in The Lord of the Rings where parang Gandalf recently exorcised si Theoden
Mm-hmm.
of
Theoden of
Saruman of
Theoden.
Rohan. Yeah. Yeah. He said, perhaps your hands would remember its strength if it grasped its sword. Para, I feel like that's what I would feel when if I go back on the road. Oh yeah, this is it. No longer am I bound by my trainer. But
Speaking of
yeah, yeah.
trainer, yeah, that's an excellent tool to have. So
Uh,
really be
for
excellent.
indoor and lalo na if it's raining. Anyway, let's go back to Dungeons and Dragons. You should
Mhm.
have a bike podcast though, I feel like. Anyway.
Are we starting one?
Okay, guys,
Is that
welcome
what
to
I'm
Short Ride.
is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, I'm chill with it. Anyway, sige, let's talk about that for another time. For now, we are going to talk about the undead, unlife. Okay.
Oh boy.
Um, Fonzie, what was one monster uh that you have encountered, which you had this impression isn't as difficult as it should be, but almost killed your party?
Well, I have that in two sides. I was DMing. You DM this as well, White Blue Mountain,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
there is a notable vampire. Spoiler warning, but there is a notable vampire in one of the dungeons there.
Mm-hmm.
So and one party I was DMing for, I believe they really had a hard time with it. Like they had a
Mm-hmm.
hard time with dealing with the darkness and dealing with the attacks and legendary actions and just being able to deal and defeat this character because a lot of us were going down, a lot of the people were going
Yeah.
down. And we eventually defeated it. And the other side, like I DM'd another group of adventurers who
Mm-hmm.
fucking one rounded my vampire. So it's kind of like two sides of of the same coin that
Mm-hmm.
it just really depends on team composition.
Yeah.
But generally vampires, like that was one of the first time I believe that I've been handling or DMing using a vampire and just figuring out its stats and just being able to figure out like what it would do given the circumstance.
Yeah, I remember my first time handling a vampire of that power. My my our DM or no, our one of the players was EJ. He taught me how to handle the vampire. He told me to just unleash it because apparently I was actually holding back. I was pulling some punches. And those things can kill. Those things are very very dangerous given enough if you play well enough. Yeah. So, yeah, there are basically in terms of undead creatures, there are a lot of them. So there's your typical skeletons, there's your zombies, there's your ghouls, and then there's I think ghosts are also classified as as undead creatures. Am I right in that assumption?
And there are a really strange, like there are conventional monsters that you would normally associate as undead, but there are a lot of other things like large
Yeah.
creatures that are undead. There is something from Waterdeep, the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, this
Mm-hmm.
undead bullet. It's a large
Undead bullet?
creature. It's
Oh,
a
wow.
large creature and it leaps like it's kind of like a frog. It looks like a frog. Uh, and
Oh,
it has one of like a bite. It has +7 to hit, and take note of this. It's
uh,
4d12 +4 piercing damage.
oof, yeah. I've faced live bullets, so they're not undead bullets. And they hit pretty hard. I think they're a tier 2 ano. They're tier 2 challenge. I think they're a challenge. They have a challenge rating of 3 or 4.
They have a
Anyway,
challenge
sorry.
rating of 5. This one.
5. Nice. So yeah, I think that's a tier 2 creature talaga. Anyway, so let's just run through just a few undead creatures. We'll start from the very basic, from our what I should say a tier 1 creature. So that's probably your ghouls or skeletons, and then let's progress to potentially the big bad. And I have not handled a big bad before because
Undead.
of I guess by big bad, these are yung challenge ratings of these are those that have a challenge rating of 20 or higher. Let me do a quick check on the monster manual really quick. Pero yeah.
And there's
Uh
the
w-
yeah. So where do you want to start?
let's start with our tier 1 monster,
Tier
the
1.
zombie.
Nice. So there are several types of zombies that you might be accustomed to, and there are like one particular zombie, the one that we
Disgust.
yeah, are really interesting zombies. There's something called the ash zombie, which is
What's an ash zombie?
so it has a trait called ash puff. So the first
Mhm.
time the zombie takes damage, any living creature within 5 feet of the zombie must succeed a DC 10 Constitution saving throw, or gain disadvantage on attack roll. So it's essentially a dusty zombie. So if you attack it, it kind of like creates this kind of like dust. You have to make
My eyes. Yeah.
it's so comedic. Um, it's
So
from the Lost
uh,
Mines of Phandelver, I think. One of the
ooh,
monsters
I have
there.
to run. So I haven't run that yet, so I'm not aware. But that's good. So just to give you a little background on what zombies are, what zombies are rather. They're sinister necromantic. They're created from apparently sinister necromantic magic, infused from the remains of the dead, causing them to rise as zombies that do their creator's bidding without fear or hesitation. So they're created by some form of magic, apparently. So, yeah, they move with a jerky, uneven gait, clad in the moldering apparel they wore when they were put to rest, and carrying the stench of decay. So basically, zombies are what you think they are. They are just walking corpses bound together by some undead magic. Undead magic being something that maybe some wizards have created, or probably some a divine, quote unquote, divine force, or unholy force rather, to
Mhm.
be more appropriate, that influence or have infused its magic into these corpses. Okay, and to just carry out the will of whoever is this creature that brought them back to unlife.
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, there are many hideous forms. You mentioned one, the dusty zombie, and there are a few from the monsters manual, which is the ogre zombie, and there is actually a beholder zombie. But we're not get a beholder zombie is scary. Beholders themselves are scary. So yeah,
Dude.
uh,
Yeah, and there are like other interesting facets of the zombie, including something that I really find annoying, but it's a fun
mm,
dynamic. It's called the undead fortitude.
yeah.
Fortitude. So if the damage reduces the zombie to 0 hit points, it must make a con save, DC 5 plus the damage taken, unless the damage is radiant or from a critical hit. So if it's a success, the zombie drops to 1 hit point instead. So that's wild.
Yeah,
That's really
I mean,
wild.
you have to roll a critical in order to kill it. It's or if you have a paladin in the group or a cleric in the group, no problem.
Like imagine
Uh-huh.
being swarmed by these zombies, right? And they have a walking speed of 20. Okay, some of the zombies from Walking Dead move a little bit faster than 20 feet per round. Like,
They are fast. No, now that I think about it, they're not the typical walkers. Yeah, they actually run.
yeah. So yeah, that's an idea. Ogre zombie.
All right. So that's our zombie. What would be our next creature? Fonzie, do you have ano? Because I have ran a few that offer the same kind of annoying effects.
If we're still talking about the undead, there's
Yeah.
one creature that I'd love to talk about. It's called the mummy.
You read my mind. I wanted to talk about that as well. Go ahead,
Nice.
Fuzzy. What do
So
mummies do?
mummies do give you allowance. No, just kidding. So
That's
mummies are medium undead creatures. They're lawful evil. Not sure why, because some mummies are good, but I guess when you come back to life as a mummy, you become evil. Same thing. It has a challenge rating of 3. And one interesting thing about
yeah,
it is that it has dark vision. Really.
yeah.
Right. Has dark vision. So one of the things that it can do for its actions, it has multi-attack. So the mummy can either use one of its dreadful glares and makes one attack with its rotting fist. So the rotting fist is a +5 to hit with 2d6 +3 bludgeoning damage plus 3d6 necrotic damage. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
if
it's
so
insane.
after you do that, you have to make a con save DC 12 or be cursed with mummy rot. Oh my god.
I'd like to tell a story about that. But go on, continue with the
After that, it has what it's called a dreadful glare. So the mummy targets one creature it can see within 50 feet, within 60 feet. So that's why it has dark vision. If the target can see the mummy, it must succeed on a DC 11 Wisdom saving throw or become frightened until the end of the mummy's turn. That's
Yeah.
fun. If the target fails the saving throw, it's not only frightened, it is paralyzed for the same duration. So
That's insane.
that's insane. So a target that succeeds on the saving throw is immune to the dreadful glare, all the mummies, of all mummies, but
Mummy
not
Lord.
mummy lords for the next 24 hours. So that's
Yeah.
interesting. So
There's a mummy lord.
you thank God it's a con save, because con saves when you're paralyzed, you have to make the con save. You can still make con saves when you're paralyzed. But imagine if you pair this with any creature that can cast deck saves.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's gonna hurt.
It's
And
gonna hurt.
I think the mummy lord does exactly that. It has dreadful glare, and then it has a few. Yeah, yeah. It has a no. It has a few. It has a few. I think it's a spellcaster. Yeah, it does, and it actually does have some. Oh no, never mind. Sorry, it has guiding bolt. Sorry, it doesn't do the dexterity saves. But I have a little story about mummies,
Mm-hmm.
pertaining to my monk. I think we're at. I think we fought this at the. We fought one of them rather, and at when we were in tier 3, when my monk was at that level, or was that tier 2? Anyway, so it got me with its rotting fist, and no one in the party had anything to get rid of curses. Not at the moment, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I was so scared because if I reach if I reach if my hit points reach 0, I would die. And to think that I was the only I was the only character there who was a melee character. That my monk would have been turned to dust. So it's a pretty scary feature of the mummy. It's very dangerous, right? And to think that this is a DC 12 Constitution save is a relatively easy save to make. But sometimes bad things happen and you roll a natural one. and or something lower. So you roll an 8. That's not enough if you have a 3 Constitution. Yeah. So it's a very dangerous thing to have, particularly at these levels where, or at points where you don't have players who, or don't have a cleric who can remove these kinds of curses. Okay, so yeah, mummies hurt. Mummies definitely hurt.
I miss her.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I'll
Yeah, pick the
continue
next
with that.
one.
Yeah, I'll pick the next one.
Or
So
is
Mhm.
there anything else you'd like to add for the mummy?
No, that's it's
Okay.
just that story. It's very dangerous. So just
Um,
because you are a barbarian doesn't mean you'll always make that saving throw, di ba?
yeah.
You're
What year was
you
that
have
though? What year was that?
that was I'm not sure if it's a tier 3 or tier 2, but I was so scared for for my monk character at the time. Like I keep telling I keep telling in character, I keep telling my party players in character, of course, that this is weird. I feel weird. I don't want to die. And some weird necrotic magic has gotten to me. Yeah, that was a game that EJ played. That EJ ran pala. So yeah, man, we need to invite him to one of these. EJ, we summon your great spirit to help us in this short rest. Anyway, so yeah, the next creature would be, and it's considered an undead, but how should I say this? It's very it's fairly different. I'm talking about Draco Liches.
Ooh.
Have you ever encountered those before? Because I haven't,
Yes.
and go on. Okay, so Draco Liches are basically um these are undead dragons who and someone please correct my lord. These have been if I can remember correctly, these are dragons who have chosen to become undead in order to live longer, because dragons, they live for a long they, like true dragons at least, they live for a long time. I think they live for hundreds of years, thousands of years, but they're not immortal, meaning they die, they fade away. Ayan.
Mhm.
Some Draco liches get choose to be Draco liches. Others have wizards turn them into one. Sometimes, most of the time, I imagine, not of their will. So yeah, I'll give you a little background of Draco liches from the monster manual. So yeah, a Draco Lich retains its shape and size upon transforming, its skin and scales drawing tight to its bones or slowing away to leave a skeletal form behind. Okay, though many dragons pursue vain goals of destruction and dominance, um, okay, Draco Liches are even more nefarious than most evil dragons. Driven to rule over all, a Draco Lich is a fiendishly intelligent tyrant that crafts complex webs of foul schemes, attracting servants, motivated by greed and a lust for power. Acting from the shadows and actively plotting to keep its existence a secret, a Draco Lich is a cunning and challenging foe. So most of the time, Draco Liches mean to be turned into So Draco Liches are requires dracolic phylactery, very much like liches. We'll talk about that later on. Okay. Creating a Draco Lich requires the cooperation of the dragon and a group of mages or cultists that can perform the proper ritual. During the ritual, the dragon consumes a toxic brew that slays it instantly, and then the attendant spellcasters then ensnare its spirit and transform it into a special gemstone that functions like a lich's phylactery. As the dragon's flesh rots away, the spirit inside the gem returns to animate the dragon's bones. So it's a lot like those. How should I say this? It's a like that phenomenon in Harry Potter. I haven't read anything, pero if you like I imagine that Draco Liches would have several phylacteries where parts of their soul are embedded, and you can, if you kill one,
Wait,
it,
have you
it
not
can
read
still
Harry
return to life.
Potter?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Mostly because I'm a Terry Pratchett fan, and never mind. Let's not get into it.
Hmm.
But yeah, these dragons are spellcasters, and if you'll notice yung if you'll notice yung the art that is in the monsters manual, it is a blue dragon. Blue dragons are lawful evil, so I can understand why they can be more manipulative than most,
Mhm.
whereas the other dragons are more chaotic evil. Very much like the red dragon, the feral white dragon, and I th- I think si din si I'm not sure if the black dragon is chaotic or if he's
Well,
lawful.
I think one of the like the requirement for a dragon to be a Dracolich is that it has to be an adult dragon
Yeah,
or
yeah,
adult or higher.
an
Anything
ancient. Yeah,
anything less, I think it automatically dies or something.
yeah.
And
Needs to have that power to become one.
we faced a Dracolich in a tier 3 mod that Ericsson run. Hi Ericsson.
Hey,
Uh,
Erickson.
so he ran this tier 3. I think, were you there? I don't remember. But
I don't think I was.
we were tasked to eliminate a cave of the Dracolich and its eggs. Apparently it has eggs.
Sorry. Okay.
Apparently it has eggs. So
Wait, what? How? How
I
did
don't
it?
know. I don't
It's a
know.
what? Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it laid eggs before, but well, lo and behold, the younglings were also zombies. So I think
Yeah.
so. It was an
The
interesting
younglings, no.
encounter. It was
Mm.
interesting, but being AL in tier 3, everybody's min maxed, so it was a relatively easier fight. Uh,
You say it like it's meh.
yeah, because it's just a formality. Introduce the dragon that we want to kill. Tier 3 is just about, min max, making sure that your character is armed to the teeth with the right magic weapons and stuff like that,
Mm.
and you don't die.
Mm.
So definitely an interesting, in terms of like interesting, if uh like if you're running a homebrew, or if you have like a dragon as your BBEG, and then on its point of death it swallows the potion that automatically kills it, like one of those spy movies. It turns into a
Mhm.
Dracolich. Oh my god.
No, and all my spell slots have been spent.
Form 2, Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I'll
Final
find out.
Fantasy.
Tin, 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 tin. Oh no. Anyway,
I
sige.
hate
Yeah.
those. I hate those things. Like it's another form. Wow. All
Can we
right.
just can we just go straight to your final form so we can have this fight
Yeah.
already?
Yeah. So yeah. So aside from that, like adult, like Dracoliches are awesome to add as a very ominous and very scary bad baddie for your campaign.
Mhm.
And yeah.
Now that I think about it, you mentioned campaign. Have we ever gonna encounter dragons in Barrio Alfonso?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. It's okay. Okay.
I don't know. To be honest, I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't plan that far ahead, but I know the story. I know what's
Does
going to
the do I
happen.
look like I have a plan?
I don't plan, but relatively, like the skeleton of the adventure is there, like from.
Yeah, yeah.
So there are BBEGs that I want to introduce, but if things change, like if I get an idea, maybe this guy is better. You were talking
Mm.
about beholders earlier. That's interesting. Beholders.
The fuck? Well,
Beholders, man.
shit.
But it just depends. It just depends, right? Yeah. So
Maybe the
any other
that's right.
any other like undead creatures you'd like to talk about?
I would like to talk about I guess one of the strongest undead creatures that I have yet to encounter. I haven't yet, to be honest. But I feel like this is one of the ultimate forms of undead. We talked about forms and all. Let me turn to those pages. But since we talked about Dracoliches,
Mhm.
let's talk about liches. The
Ooh.
actual lich. Um the typical undead baby EG, I would suppose. All right. So have you encountered liches before, Fonzie? I haven't.
I have. Mm-hmm. I
Oh,
have.
yeah, they have a challenge rating of 21. And I think in terms of popular media, one very popular lich would be si Voldemort. Am I correct in that? I haven't read Harry Potter.
Hmm.
He keeps essence kasi liches are wizards or are magic users who have this what do you call this, who have this ambition of preserving themselves, of living essentially forever, right? They further their own power at any cost. So yeah, having no interest in the affairs of the living except for those affairs interfere with their own. They hunger for long forgotten knowledge and the most terrible secrets. Yeah. So leeches are very powerful spell casting creatures, and they are not to be trifled with.
Yeah, and
Like
great senators as well.
really,
Hello, Juan Ponce and Rile. Yung
oh,
Pakilechi.
oh my God, is he an actual lich though?
Question mark?
Yeah.
Oh, seems like that's the picture I had in my mind when you're reading the description.
Oh, well, yeah, they're pretty they're pretty strong. So okay, how should we go about this, Fonzie?
We faced I remember facing a lich before one of the tier 4, I believe. Tier 4, yeah, definitely tier 4. And it was one of the many moments where my character had died with a disintegrate.
Oof, okay.
So
What happened?
that was interesting. Well,
Did he
and leeches are spellcasters, and they are awesome
Yeah.
spellcasters. And they have a lot of stuff in their, especially like lair actions are
Yeah.
really, and legendary actions are awesome, like paralyzing touch, stuff like that, and frightening gaze and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
these are really awesome things, and these are scary BBEGs to face, like at the end of the day.
So
But we faced one
mhm.
in a mod where there were Tarasques. So on top of a lich, there were Tarasques.
Why do you do this? Okay.
So that was definitely interesting. So it was a tier 4 mod, I think. Not AL, I think, but definitely something that we did over like an afternoon of um, like strategizing and how to effectively defeat Tarasques first and then defeat a lich next. Oh my
Yeah.
god. My
So
character was a barbarian berserker, I think, and a fighter who crit on an 18 and a 19, I think. Oh no, it was just a berserker. And
okay.
then I had this sword called the Vorpal sword.
Ooh, wow. Nice. Okay.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
It's
At a
a
roll of 20,
At
it
a roll of 20, you cut off its head.
yeah.
So I was enlarged. So I was already like a large,
Go on.
and then I crit on the Tarrasque, and I
Uh
cut off his head.
that's one way to get rid of the Tarask. I have
Yep.
never heard of anyone like Tarasks usually survive that kind of that survive because of its wounds, but cutting off its head, that's probably gonna kill it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
yeah,
yeah,
that
go
was
ahead.
interesting. That was definitely interesting.
Yeah. So pretty much like like Draco liches. Liches are have pieces of their souls fragmented and put into separate phylacteries. And
Ooh.
in order for them to preserve their life or their essence, their consciousness, they have to feed upon souls. These souls are provided by their followers, by their apprentices, and yeah.
I'm pretty convinced that J.K. Rowling plays D&D now.
I mean,
It's such a prototype Voldemort. Come on,
diba?
J.K. Rowling.
To be fair, a lot of this came from Tolkien, I guess. Pero no, I'm not sure about the undead part. I'll have to ask my more senior friends who've read the Tolkien's works. Anyway, so when a lich's body is broken by accident or assault, the will and mind of the lich drains from it, leaving only a lifeless corpse behind. Within days, a new body reforms next to the lich's phylactery, which is why you have more of these, coalescing out of glowing smoke that issues from the device. So if you wanna kill a leech, you wanna kill a lich, you gotta destroy the phylactery. So one notable lich, I guess we can call them that. Depende siguro depends on the origin would be si Vecna. Vecna has had several phylacteries and several followers who gave him lots of souls, lots of provided a lot of rituals. And yeah, it kind of goes with the description of liches. Since Vecna is a god of the unholy god of secrets, parang and he likes to have these secrets with him, keep it. Ayun, it's he's basically a very good
Yes.
poster boy or poster god for
And and
for liches.
our favorite lich from the Tomb of Annihilation, Asasarak. Hello, how are you
Asas.
doing
Oh
there?
yeah, I haven't played Tomb of Annihilation.
You should.
So
It's fun.
yeah. Yun nga, he
That's
is also
that
a lich pala.
that's where you will experience me at my worst if I DM. I will definitely try to kill you.
I will.
That
I'll
is my
run it then. Para we're all happy in the Tomb of Annihilation.
that is my only goal to defeat you.
You know what? We're okay with it. We just yeah.
Fun
Yeah,
story?
so
Friendship? No. Kill
no, just
characters.
if Tomb of Annihilation were a movie, what movie would that be?
It wouldn't be published because everyone is dead.
It's a snuff video. It's a snuff movie.
This is not
Anyway,
movie.
yeah. So that's I think that about wraps it up for our talk
It
of
does.
undead monsters.
It
Yeah.
does.
I'm honestly like there's only one way or there's only one thing that can I don't know how it was but I was going to mention that these are usually they're very weak to radiant power. So there are
Mhm.
properties of ingredients that causes them to that causes double damage, makes them weaker. And yeah,
Gives
it's it go ahead.
it gives paladins a hard on from the
Speak of,
prey boy.
yep.
The
Yeah,
pr-
that post I'm gonna talk about that post. Can you guys share from the Facebook page and not from the groups I shared it in? I
yeah.
don't want anyway.
So if
Yeah,
you
it's
encounter those undead monsters without your paladins, good luck.
and your
Use
clerics.
and your clerics, good luck. Always meta at a certain extent. Make sure that
Yeah,
you
I
have
get
those elements in mind. But if you don't, you'll still be fine. You just need to play smart. Just need to
play smart.
yeah,
Play smart. I'm not gonna mention names, but play smart.
play
Plug.
smart. Use your head. Use your head. Read your
um
books. Read your spells.
yeah. This is why I'd always recommend the cleric in the party. They're always nice. There needs to be a hug a cleric day, an actual hug a cleric day,
Yeah.
where in game you hug the cleric.
Yeah, a
They're
cleric just
pretty badass.
balances everything out, like regardless of what type of cleric it can be. Like there are really fun clerics. My favorite class is a cleric actually. I
Mm.
love forge clerics. I love grave clerics. They're awesome. Caduceus
Grave
cleric.
clerics?
Grave
I
clerics
haven't.
are dude. They're so awesome. I love grave clerics. Um,
Are they illegal ba? I'm not
yeah,
sure. Eh.
they are. They are.
They are okay.
I have a grave
Don't you
cleric.
need?
I have a
Mm.
grave cleric. My first grave cleric was his name was Romar Royce and Waymar Royce rather, and he is
Nice,
in the island of Chult as of now, still stuck there. So
nice.
trying to find a way out.
It's just we need to get him out there. Do you need
Yeah,
someone to run the campaign to get him out?
I need our DM to start DMing again,
Oh,
but it's fine.
okay, sige.
Waymar is still
Uh,
alive, thankfully.
just in short na. And yeah. So yeah, wow, now that I think about it, we need the cleric in our Barrio Alfonso ano.
You're
Uh,
fine.
we'll just have if one of our characters gets killed off, I can come in as a cleric, an actual priest. A Filipino priest who just
We'll
blesses people.
we'll see. There are no spellcasters though. Like there are just I don't think there are like maybe like an evangelist, maybe like a faith healer, maybe something like that,
Ano
flavored like that.
albularyo?
Yeah, we could work something out. Like maybe
Yeah.
saints, like being a like having those really strange powers.
Ooh.
Yeah, and there are like I don't know if there is an albulario class, but I look it up. I look
I
it up.
will also look that up. I feel like
Yeah.
a druid cleric type, no?
But
Yeah.
so far, you probably need just to stock up on healing potions and stuff like that. You're fine without clerics, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that about wraps it up for our
It
talk of
does.
Undead. And we're gonna wrap up soon. We're gonna wrap up our short rest soon. But first, a few announcements. Fonzie, where can they find you? And do you have anything coming up for this next few weeks or days?
Our next episode is set to be uploaded today actually. So if you're watching this, it's already up. So check it out on our Facebook page, Tabletop Titos, facebook.com/Tabletop
Mhm.
Titos, or look for us on our YouTube channel, YouTube, and just Google for Tabletop Titos. We have a few subscribers there. So join the fun, subscribe and comment, and give us a like. That we would appreciate that so much. Also, like send us a message on Facebook if you do want to learn, or if you want to join in, or want us to DM for you your group and you want to learn how to play D&D. Hit us up. We can definitely send some of our craziness your way. So that's me.
Yeah.
Also, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Fonzi2. That's me.
Yeah, Instagram and Twitter. Follow Fonzie, and I think you also have a coaching page.
I
You want
do.
to announce
It's
that as well?
called Activate Leadership. I've been taking a break from podcasting there, but we'll be publishing our next episode for the podcast next week, and we'll be starting new content with interviewing some of John Maxwell coaches from the Philippines and hopefully some from abroad. So that will be definitely interesting. So hope you could check that out.
Nice. Okay. We'll be putting links in the description, guys, so you can follow Fonzie's pages. I, however, am Carlo Angelo Gonzalez from carlogeeksout.com. Just search search for Carlo Geeks Out, and you will see that in the first pages of Google. I am, of course, a digital marketing production manager for Franchise Digital Marketing, and every Wednesday night, we hold a digital pub. It's basically a show where we get to talk, where Ben Francia gets to talk about topics about digital marketing and entrepreneurship, where you're free to ask questions and basically have a good time and some beer. All right, I had to mention my sponsor because now that I think about it, I probably should. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. We'll be posting more stuff in Tabletop Titos. If you like it, please like the page. If you like this content, please subscribe to my channel. We'll also be coming up with more content for the Tabletop Titos YouTube channel. We'll put all these links in the description down below. Please feel free to message us if you wanna be a tito or tita. We welcome them. No Gen Zs though. Just kidding. We'll see. We'll have some sort of, of test for that. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's been very, very good.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye guys.
A short rest with Fonzi and Carlo.